Have you ever been to a country where people leave their curtains wide open, split the bill down to the last cent after a coffee, and if you show up at someone's place right at dinner time, they might actually ask you to come back later? In this video, I want to share 12 Dutch habits that are kind of unusual, maybe even a bit weird at first, but also really interesting and kind of charming once you get used to them. I made this video not just because I'm curious about culture, but because I believe that small things like how people eat breakfast or how they split the bill can tell us a lot about how they live. When we try to understand what feels strange to us, we often end up understanding ourselves a bit more too, especially if you're living somewhere new or just want to see how people live in another part of Europe. If you've ever thought Dutch people are a bit distant, too direct, or maybe too careful with money, let's look at these habits together and see which ones are actually true, and what makes life in the Netherlands feel both unusual and kind of lovely. Let's get into these 12 habits, starting with number 1. Okay, so this was one of the first things that really surprised me when I visited the Netherlands. I was staying with my aunt's family, and on the first morning I saw them putting chocolate sprinkles on bread for breakfast. Not for dessert, not as a treat, just breakfast. They call it hagelslag, and it's basically chocolate sprinkles like the kind you'd put on ice cream. But here, people put it on buttered bread in the morning. And the wild part is, it's not just something for kids. Adults eat it too, totally normal. No one thinks twice about it. At first, I honestly thought it was a joke. Like, is this just a fun Sunday thing? But no, they do this all the time. The grocery stores even have whole shelves just for different types of sprinkles: milk chocolate, dark chocolate, white chocolate, and mixes of all three. When I asked about it, people were like, "It's just a Dutch thing. We grew up with it." And even though it sounds super sweet, most Dutch people don't see it as unhealthy. I've even heard someone say, "It's no worse than cereal." Fair point. After a few days, I gave it a try. And honestly, it kind of grew on me. There's something really comforting about warm toast with a little melted chocolate on top. It's one of those habits that seems totally weird at first, but once you're here and see how normal it is, you get it. It's simple, a little fun, and very, very Dutch. So yes, chocolate for breakfast, not a myth. 100% real. And honestly, something about it felt kind of nice, slow, cozy, not rushed. Just enjoying a simple breakfast without overthinking it. That actually got me thinking more about how we start our days, and how much pressure we put on ourselves to go, go, go all the time. In the next video, I'm going to share some easy, practical ways to slow down a bit. Small things you can do to make your everyday life feel calmer and more grounded. So if that sounds like something you need right now, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. But for now, let's keep going with today's video. Next up, here's another Dutch habit that totally caught me off guard. They mash all their food together on the plate. Like on purpose. I was having dinner at my aunt's house in the Netherlands, and they served potatoes, some vegetables, and a meatball with gravy. Pretty standard, right? But then before eating, everyone just started mixing everything up with their forks. Smashing the potatoes, stirring in the carrots, scooping in the sauce. It became one big pile of mashed food. I was so confused. Apparently, this is totally normal here, and they even have a word for it, prakken. It means to mash your food all together. You don't eat each thing separately, you just combine it into one soft, flavorful mix. At first, I didn't know what to do. I mean, where I'm from, we usually try to keep foods a little separate on the plate. But in that moment, I just followed along and gave it a try. And to be honest, it was kind of great. The mashed potatoes soak up all the gravy, the veggies blend in, and it's warm and comforting. It makes total sense, especially in winter when all you want is something filling and cozy. Later, I learned that Dutch people grow up doing this. It's not considered messy or lazy, it's just how you eat a classic home-cooked meal. And honestly, it saves time and dishes too. One plate, one fork, everything mixed. Now, I don't think I'd do this all the time back home, but here it just fits. It's one of those habits that feels strange until you try it, and then it feels kind of genius. So yes, in the Netherlands, mixing your entire dinner into one big mash, totally normal. Next up, let's talk about fries. or as the Dutch call them, patat. I thought I knew how to eat fries, maybe with ketchup, maybe with some salt. But in the Netherlands, it's mayo, like a lot of mayo. The first time I ordered fries here, I didn't even ask for sauce. But when the plate came out there, it was a big scoop of mayonnaise right on top. At first I thought it was a mistake, like maybe they misunderstood me. But nope, this is just how it's done here. Mayo is the default. And it's not just a tiny bit for dipping. We're talking a generous dollop covering the top like frosting on a cupcake. Honestly, it looked intense, but I was too curious not to try. And I get it now. The mayo here isn't super heavy or eggy like some versions I've had elsewhere. It's creamy, slightly tangy, and it actually pairs really well with hot, crispy fries. It kind of melts a little and makes everything extra rich. Dutch people love it so much that there's even a nickname, patatje, met it just means fries with. And everyone knows the with means mayo. That's how common it is. Of course, you can also get other combos like mayo with ketchup, or even mayo with peanut sauce. Yes, peanut sauce. I haven't gone that far yet, but I'm curious. What I love is how confidently Dutch people own this. No need to justify it, no need to explain. It's just delicious. And honestly, after trying it a few times, I started craving it too. So if you ever come to the Netherlands and order fries, don't be surprised if they come with a big scoop of mayo. That's not extra. That's just how it's done. One thing you quickly notice in the Netherlands is how seriously people take saving money. Not in a miserable way, more like a mindset. Dutch people are really proud of being smart with their spending. When I visited my aunt here, I saw it everywhere. She'd reuse every plastic bag, turn off lights the second we left a room, and remind everyone to finish all the food on their plate. Even the leftover boiled potatoes had a plan for tomorrow. At first, I thought it was just her personality. But then I met more people and it was the same. Packing snacks for a day trip, fixing things instead of buying new checking flyers for supermarket discounts. They just really don't like waste of anything. Time, money, food, energy. And they'll talk about it openly, like, "We're not buying drinks there, they're too expensive, or I'll bring my own tea bags. It's cheaper." They say it without embarrassment, it's just practical. I used to think being frugal meant you were struggling, but here it feels different. It's more about choosing not to spend when you don't have to. Being careful, being thoughtful. Of course, it can sometimes come across as a bit much, like when someone brings their own lunch to a restaurant or cuts paper towels in half. But honestly, there's something admirable about it too. In a world where we're often told to buy more, do more, spend more, the Dutch remind me that simple is enough. Okay, let's talk about going out for coffee or lunch with Dutch friends. Because this is where you really see their attention to detail, especially when it comes to money. One afternoon, I went for coffee with a small group of people. We ordered drinks, maybe a slice of cake here and there, nothing fancy. When the bill came, I expected someone to just pay and we'd sort it out later or maybe just split it evenly. But nope. Everyone pulled out their phones, opened their banking apps, and started calculating their exact share, like down to the cent. If someone ordered a cappuccino and someone else had a tea, the price difference mattered. No one was being rude or stingy, it was just precise. Fair. That's how it's done here. And it doesn't stop there. They'll often send each other a tikkie, which is like a payment link you can text someone. Even for small amounts like $1.70 for a juice. At first, I thought it was over the top. But honestly, no one seems to mind. In fact, it's expected. Paying for exactly what you had shows that you're being responsible, not cheap. I even asked someone about it and they said, it's just fair. Why should someone else pay for what I ordered? Which, when you think about it, makes sense. There's no awkwardness, no pretending, just clarity. Of course, if you're not used to it, it can feel a bit formal. But after a while, I actually started to like it. No confusion, no hidden pressure, just everyone covering their part and moving on. So if you're ever in the Netherlands, don't be surprised if someone sends you a payment request for exactly 2.43. That's just how they do it, clear, fair, and very Dutch. Okay, now let's move on to the next thing. This one really surprised me, especially coming from a culture where make yourself at home means food, drinks, and staying as long as you want. In the Netherlands, hospitality works a little differently. I remember visiting a Dutch family friend for the first time. We were invited over in the afternoon, and everything was very polite, very friendly. We sat down, had a coffee, a small cookie, just one by the way, which I later learned is very common, and chatted for a bit. Then right around 5 p.m. things got quiet. And I started wondering, are we staying for dinner? But before I could even ask, someone said very kindly, "Well, it's almost time for our meal, so we'll walk you to the door." No bad vibes, no awkwardness, just very matter of fact. That's when I realized, in Dutch culture, being a good host doesn't always mean feeding your guests or having them stay late. It means being respectful, offering something small, and keeping things simple. And honestly, it's kind of refreshing. There's no pressure to over-prepare, no need to serve a big spread. You're not expected to entertain all night. It's more about connection than performance. Of course, this can feel a bit cold if you're used to a more mi casa e su casa style of hosting. But once you understand it, it actually makes visits easier. You know the rules. You know what to expect. So if you ever visit a Dutch home and wonder why you're not getting offered a full meal, it's not because they don't like you. It's just a different way of doing hospitality. Short, sweet, and very Dutch. And while we're on this topic of Dutch traditions, birthdays deserve a special mention. I thought I knew what a birthday party looked like. Balloons, music, maybe some loud games or dancing. But then I went to a Dutch birthday party and it was very different. First of all, everyone was sitting in a circle, like an actual circle of chairs around the living room. No music, no party vibes, just people chatting quietly, sipping coffee or tea. Someone passed around a slice of cake, and everyone politely said thanks. It felt more like a polite meeting than a celebration. And here's the funniest part: when you arrive, you don't just say happy birthday to the person whose birthday it is. You say it to everyone. Literally everyone in the room gets a gefeliciteerd like it's their day too. I remember whispering to my cousin, "Wait, is it all their birthdays?" And she was like, "No, that's just how we do it." At first I didn't know what to do with my hands. Should I be clapping, making a toast? But no, the point is just to sit, talk, and be there. No rush, no big energy, just gezellig, as the Dutch say. It means cozy chill together. And the thing is, once I got used to it, I kind of liked it. There's no pressure to be fun or throw a huge event. People just show up, bring a small gift, have coffee, maybe a second round of cake if you're lucky, and that's the party. So yeah, if you ever get invited to a Dutch birthday, don't expect loud music or party games. Expect chairs and a circle cake on a paper napkin and a lot of quiet congratulations. Next up. One of the strangest habits I noticed here is how much people love salty licorice. In the Netherlands, there's this candy called drop. It's black, chewy, and super salty. Not sweet, not fruity, just salty. And Dutch people are obsessed with it. The first time I saw a bag at the grocery store, I thought it was some kind of soft gummy. I grabbed one without thinking and tried it right there. Big mistake. It was like licking a block of salt and medicine at the same time. I honestly thought maybe it had gone bad, but everyone around me was eating it like it was totally normal, like happily, even little kids. And when I said I didn't really like it, someone told me, "Oh, you just haven't tried the right kind yet." Turns out there are entire categories of drop soft, hard mild salt, double salt. It's serious business here. What really surprised me is how proud people are of it. Some even want foreigners to try it just to see their reaction. Like, here, have a drop followed by a very curious stare. And look, I still can't say I enjoy it, but I get it now. It's one of those you grew up with it things, like strong cheese or durian or black coffee. To Dutch people, it's normal, comforting even. To me, still an acquired taste. So if you're ever in the Netherlands and someone offers you a little black candy, try it if you're brave, but don't say I didn't warn you. Another thing that totally threw me off at first was how people greet each other here with 3 kisses on the cheek. I mean, I've seen cheek kissing in other countries, usually 1 or 2 depending on the culture. But in the Netherlands, it's 3. And it's not just for close friends or family. It can be for acquaintances too, especially during birthdays or special occasions. The first time it happened to me, I was not prepared. Someone leaned in, kissed me on one cheek, then the other, and then went back for a third. I almost bumped noses because I thought we were done. Super awkward. And it's not romantic, that's what surprised me the most. It's just polite. A normal, friendly way to say hi or happy birthday. Men usually don't do it with other men, but between women or between women and men, it's common. I asked my aunt about it, and she just shrugged. "It's how we do it," she said. "Left, right, left. Like there's a rhythm to it, a whole system. And if you mess it up, like if you go in on the wrong side first, yeah, it gets clumsy fast. After a while, though, you start to expect it. It's kind of sweet in a no-big-deal kind of way. It doesn't mean you're super close. It just means you're being polite. But I will say, if you're not used to that much physical contact right at the start of a conversation, it takes some getting used to. So if you ever come to the Netherlands and someone leans in with confidence, don't panic. Just go with the flow. 1, 2, 3. Next up. One habit that really surprised me and honestly stressed me out a little is how the Dutch handle lines. Or rather, how they don't. In a lot of countries, people love their lines. You stand in one, you wait your turn, you leave space, and you don't question who was there first. But in the Netherlands, it's kind of a free-for-all. The first time I took the train, I stood at what I thought was the end of the line to get on. Turns out it wasn't a line at all, just a vague cluster of people. And when the doors opened, everyone just moved at once. No order, no eye contact, just movement. Fast. Same thing at the bakery. I tried to wait politely, but people who walked in after me went straight to the counter and ordered. I was like, did they not see me? But it wasn't personal. That's just how it works here. You speak up when you're ready. Quiet waiting doesn't mean anything. Now, to be fair, it's not that people are rude. It's more that they value efficiency. If you hesitate, someone else will go first, and that's totally acceptable. After a while, I learned the unspoken rule: if you want something, step up and ask. No one's going to call you pushy. In fact, they'll probably respect you more for it. So yeah, if you're used to structured queues with clear space and order, this can feel chaotic. But once you get used to it, it actually moves things along pretty fast. Just remember here, the line isn't always visible, but the competition, very real. Another thing I quickly noticed in the Netherlands is how seriously people take bike security. And I mean seriously. I remember walking through a small town with my cousin and seeing rows of bikes parked outside the supermarket. What stood out wasn't just how many there were, but how heavily locked they all were. We're talking thick chains, double locks, wheel locks, and sometimes even removing the seat. I'm not joking. At first, I thought it was overkill. I mean, who's going to steal a bike in broad daylight? But then I learned that bike theft here is super common. Like, people talk about it the way others talk about losing an umbrella, annoying, but not surprising. Everyone I met had lost at least one bike in their life. Some had lost several. So yeah, locking your bike isn't just a suggestion, it's a full-on routine. One friend told me, even if I leave my bike for 2 minutes, I lock it. Always. And not just with any lock, Dutch people are very specific about which locks are strong enough. What's even funnier is that some people have a nice bike and a trash bike. The nice one stays at home or only comes out in safe places. The trash bike is for parking in public, where if it gets stolen, it's not a big deal. It kind of blew my mind how much planning goes into something as simple as parking a bike. But once you understand the risk, it makes total sense. So if you ever rent a bike in the Netherlands, don't take your chances. Lock it properly, or it might be gone before your next coffee break. This last one really made me pause the first few days I was here. I remember walking through a quiet street in the evening. It was dark outside, lights were on inside, and I could see straight into people's homes. Their living rooms, dining tables, bookshelves, even people having dinner or watching TV. All of it was right there, fully visible from the sidewalk, and the curtains completely open. At first I thought maybe they just forgot, or maybe they just hadn't closed them yet. But then I saw it again. And again. House after house, windows wide open, lights on, no curtains closed. I asked my aunt about it, and she said very casually, "Oh, we just don't really close the curtains unless we're going to sleep." And yeah, she meant it. Here people leave the curtains open almost all day. During breakfast, lunch, dinner, doesn't matter. Even when it's dark and everything inside is easy to see from the street, they don't mind. No big deal. At first, I felt weird walking past someone's house like that. I'd try not to look, or I'd glance and quickly turn away. But after a while, you realize they're not uncomfortable with it. They're not trying to hide anything, and they don't expect you to care. As long as you're not staring into their windows like a creep, it's fine. Now that I've been here a bit longer, I get why it works. It makes the home feel open, bright, connected to the outside. And maybe in a quiet way, it's also about trust. Like, we live simply. This is our home. That's it. It's still kind of odd to me, but also kind of cool. So yeah, not closing the curtains. Totally normal here. So those were just some of the everyday habits that might seem strange at first, but actually make a lot of sense once you're here. From chocolate at breakfast to not closing the curtains, the Dutch really do things their own way. And honestly, that's what makes it so fun to learn about. I hope this video gave you a little peek into daily life here, and maybe even made you smile or think, wait, I kind of like that. In the next video, we're going to shift gears a little. I'll be sharing some simple practical ways to slow down tips that can help you feel more calm, more grounded, and less rushed in everyday life. Whether you live in a busy city or a small town, these ideas are meant to bring a bit more breathing room into your days. So if that sounds like something you need right now, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you enjoyed today's video, feel free to share it with someone curious like you and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear which habit surprised you the most. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next one.